Okay, we are live. Woo! Welcome to the Mindset Mastery Masterclass. I am your host, Coach Stacy Christine. I am the ebook queen. I am also a women's empowerment coach. I am the owner of the website monetizeyourbrandonline.com. And I am also in the middle of taking my hypnosis certification. So I'm soon to be a certified hypnotist. Still getting used to how to pronounce that. But I wanted to do this master class because I wanted to be able to help individuals master their mindset. So the master class is for anybody that doesn't know, it's a 3 day long, 3 day long, 3 day master class. It's going to be, today's day one, tomorrow is day two, Thursday will be day three. And I love to, let you guys know Thursday is my 36th birthday. So I don't know. I don't even know. It's a big one for me. Damn, I don't want to get personal so early. But I did lose my mom last year, 2020, and she had me when she was 36 years old. So it's a little bit of a, not even a sweet, I wanted to say bittersweet, but it actually is a bittersweet moment because everything that I do is for her. It's for her legacy. So that's kind of why I'm on this class, because of my lessons from my mother. So we're going to get into that shortly. I first wanted to give you guys the rules, okay? So to be a part of this masterclass is totally free. If you guys want to join the group chat on Instagram, please click either face on here and go to my Instagram and message me masterclass. And what I'll do is add you to the group chat. That's just a place where the community can come together and speak about, their goals and maybe even the obstacles that happen in their life, because at the end of the day, we're all failing forward here. We're testing and tweaking, we're living life, and shit happens in life. So you're going to go through some obstacles. And I really just wanted to create a community that was supportive, accepting, and also compassionate. So that's what that group is about. I have no clue how long that group is going to be lasting, but for right now, it's definitely for these next 3 days. So I want you to make sure that so the whole masterclass, there's actually a nice little promo going along with it. If you're able to attend all 3 classes, if you're able to participate in all 3 classes, and in every single one of my master classes, I'm going to be giving homework that you have to do. And you're going to have to, in Instagram, you're going to have to give me the homework, right? If you do all of those things, so you're following me on Clubhouse, follow me on Instagram, you're in the Instagram group chat, you're participating daily, and also you're completing your homework. If you want to be entered into a paid in full scholarship to my course, the Inner Compass course, then that's a value of $1,997, right? I'm going to be giving away to the person that is doing all of the things that I just said. I'm going to be giving away a scholarship to my class. And my course actually starts Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So whoever is on here, y'all better be ready to get some work done, because I am here to provide as much information and value as possible to help you get to your abundance that you deserve. Because this is, if you guys, I hope you all have a pen and paper. This is my favorite quote in the whole entire world. but abundance is your birthright. Abundance is your birthright. Okay, so if it's your birthright, because you were birthed, you are allowed to get abundance. Because you were birthed, because you were on this earth, you were allowed to abundance. And abundance is whatever you want to make it. It's whatever makes you happy, whatever allows you to follow your joy, follow your bliss, right? I just realized I might actually have to ping some people in the room because maybe they might be waiting for me to ping them. So give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Sorry. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm really freaking excited about these next 3 days. I'm literally praying and meditating on the information that I want to be able to provide to you guys. Thanks, baby. So I like to say that a lot of times spirit just starts speaking through me. And can y'all still hear me? Let me see. Hello, hello, network lost. Oh, I think it's just my other phone. See, that's why I'm on this phone. Spirit really does speak through me a lot. And I kind of get, I don't know what to say, it's distracted or caught off guard sometimes with the stuff that I say, because it's literally not me. It's my spirit. So that's another reason why I wanted to record this. Welcome to anybody who is joining this room. This is being recorded through Zoom. I will be sending out this recording to everybody that is a part of our Instagram group. If you're not, please DM me Masterclass and I'll add you at the end of all of this, and I'll make sure that you get the recording via email. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. I think I'm only going to ping people from my other phone because, yeah. Okay. So one last time, I'm going to go over the rules. I'm going to go over what you guys can expect, and then we're going to get right into this whole presentation. Hey, Junie. Hey, Heather. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Ron. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is the Mindset Mastery Masterclass. It's going to be a 3-day masterclass where I'm going to be speaking about how to master your mindset. If you want to be entered into the raffle to win a paid in full scholarship to my course, the Inner Compass course, you must do the following. Make sure that you're following the profile to the left, either one. Make sure you're following one of my Clubhouse profiles. Then if you're not already, go to my Instagram by clicking on my face, scrolling down the bottom of my bio and going to my Instagram and following me on Instagram. You want to make sure that you're in the Instagram group chat, because that's where sometimes the homework is going to be announced. And that's where I'm also going to be checking the homework. So I want you guys to participate, complete all homework. And when we get to Thursday, I will announce the winner at the very, very end. So I'm really excited. And the winner gets paid in full scholarship to my Inner Course Compass. If you want a little more details about my Inner Course Compass, you can go to my Instagram. And let me see what link it is. Hold on. Sorry, the internet is trying to do its own thing. Okay, here comes. Okay, it doesn't want me to be great. So, oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, so you hit the number 5. You go to my Instagram, hit the link in the bio and hit number 5. And number 5 will explain to you a little bit more details about the Inner Compass course. Okay, okay. So now that we got the rules established, now that everybody knows what they got to do, welcome Mingo, welcome Angela. I appreciate you, every last one of you, for being on here. I just wanted to remind everybody who's new that this is being recorded, and if you want it sent to your email, make sure you message me Masterclass on Instagram. So let's get right into this, okay? So raise your hand for anybody who is new to, new to Clubhouse. Raise your hand if any of this is the following for you. Welcome, Ashley. Just letting you know this is being recorded. I will make sure to recap the questions and everything at the end so that you understand what's going on. Oh, I blanked out some. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so raise your hand if, I'm gonna reset this raise hand because I didn't ask anything yet. Let's off. And now we're going to turn it back on. Raise your hand if any of these apply to you. Do you feel as though you hate being rejected? Uh-oh. Do you feel as though you hate being rejected? Okay, it's working. Okay. Hate being rejected. Always wanted approval from your parents. Do you feel, raise your hand if any of these apply to you. Do you feel like you self-sabotage yourself sometimes? Do you feel like you procrastinate sometimes? Do you feel as though sometimes perfectionism can get in your way? Raise your hand if you sometimes feel like you need to know it all before you can do anything. So raise your hand if you feel like you need to know it all before you can do anything. Raise your hand if you feel like sometimes you don't know enough, so that's why you don't go and take action. Raise your hand if you feel as though sometimes you don't feel worthy of abundance. Raise your hand if sometimes you feel like you're not deserving of abundance. And the last question is, raise your hand if you feel like you don't have any boundaries in place for yourself or people around you. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. We got a ridiculous amount of hand raised. And I appreciate every last one of you guys for contributing. And for every last one of you that said, or that raised their hand, this masterclass is for you. Now, I turned off the hand raising situation. I want you guys to raise your hand if for some reason my service just goes out and you can't hear me anymore, okay? I'm gonna definitely invite every last one of you up to the stage to speak, give your input or anything like that at the end. But I just ask that, can you just raise your hand only if you guys cannot hear and understand what I'm saying, okay? Okay, cool. So like I said, you're in the right place at the right time. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background about me because not all of you know my story. Not all of you know where I came from. Not all of you know what I do. And I'm going to take it all the way back to when I was a child. So I'm turning it up. Back in the day, I was, first off, I was raised in, I was born in Louisiana, raised in Baltimore, Maryland. And hold on, my voice is distracting me. So born in Louisiana, raised in Baltimore, Maryland, and I've lived in New York City for about 13 years now, actually for 13 years now. And when I was in Baltimore, I really just noticed that it was a very depressed city. There was a lot of abandoned buildings, a lot of crackheads, a lot of junkies, a lot of fiends in certain parts of the city. In the county, it wasn't so bad, which it was primarily where I lived. But I just saw a lot of depression. And I was like, Stacy, you're not gonna be here forever. You deserve better than, I didn't really was saying you deserve better than this, but I knew I didn't want to be around that. Right. So I was raised by a single mom. My mom is Black, white, and Native American. Excuse me, my mom is white and Native American. My dad is Black. So my mother was raising two African American mixed children on her own. And that's the reason why she took us away from the South, was because she got a lot of racism for having two Black children. And she got racism whenever she was younger because of the Native American side. I was told by my aunt that they were actually called the N-word back in the day because people found out that they had Native American inside of them. But my mom basically escaped the South to give us a better life. Now, even though she escaped the South and got away from her family, she still had a lot of past traumas that were kicking her in her ass. I'm not gonna lie. She always fell into a depression. She was a registered nurse and she was adamant about medicine, meaning like Prozac or depression pills. And so I just remember seeing her always falling into a depression. Me being a kid, I didn't realize it, but she was always sleeping and just not really participating, not really active and outside and anything like that. So not only that, she also was an alcoholic. So anytime she would hit the bottle, she would start hitting on her kids. So there was many times that I got physically beat up by my mama. But there was times there was always a protection over me is what I'm learning in my whole journey. There was always a protection over me. I wasn't going to hate my mom because she beat my ass. She's my mom. So I always gave her love. And they say because I'm the baby, I didn't get as much abuse as everybody else. There was 5 kids that my mom had, and I was the baby. And that could have been a grace as well. But because my mom was so abusive, I was always trying to run away, but not like leave the house and go to somebody else's house. I would run away to try to work. So at the age of 15, I started working at the Subway sandwich shop in Towson, Maryland. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that area. And by the age of 16, they made me a manager of that place. They saw the leadership in me and they took me in. And the people that were running it at the time were actually African American. So one of the managers was a male, like he's like 7 years older than me, but he became my father figure. So he kind of helped guide me and supported me and uplifted me, especially after my mom being verbally abusive before I had to walk into work. And my mentor at that time, who was my father figure, basically saw it all over my face that I was hurt. And so he always uplifted me, and I just truly appreciate him for all of that. But so after becoming a manager at 16, I got into a lot of different other jobs, and it was always basically running from my mom. I didn't want to be around that abuse. So I put my all into my work. And usually it would be around groups that would motivate you and inspire you just because I wanted that upliftment, you know? I was trying to run from the terrors, of the house. So I've always been ambitious, and it wasn't until I came into my healing journey that I realized I was running from the house. It led me to a lot. My mom's abusive traits ended up leading me to a lot of real toxic relationships. So those relationships that I got into, they would say they love you, and they would do a thing, what I call give me that devil dick, where like, you know, they put it on you and they say they love you, but then their actions don't prove that, right? I'm going to coin that saying, devil dick. Okay. That's the devil dick. All right. So my mom's relationship between her loving me and also abusing me led me to even more toxic relationships, including an abusive husband. I ended up getting married to a man who swept me off my feet, bought me all these gifts. His family was well off. And 6 months after getting into the relationship, we got married. And we got married from a place of lack, really. And that's a whole nother story in itself. But towards the end of the marriage, he got physically abusive as well. And I ended up leaving him and went to a domestic violence shelter with my son, who was 7 at the time. My husband is not my son's father. That's a whole nother story in itself. But I ended up going to a domestic violence shelter, and I ended up finding out the traits of an abuser, because I was not forced, but they told me like I had to be a part of a 6-week group that basically explained the traits of an abuser. So when I got into that group, I realized with all of the homework and stuff that they gave you, that an abuser can be anybody. It could be your mama, your father, your friend, your coworker, your boss, anybody, anybody. And that just opened up my eyes to see the traits of people that I don't want to be around, really. And so by 2016 is whenever I got out of the domestic violence shelter. It was December 8th, actually. December 8th, 2016, I got out of the domestic violence shelter and I started my healing journey. On December 4th, 2016, I actually invested into my first ever online business. And that investment completely changed my life and my mindset. So in that online business, it was in the realm of affiliate marketing, multi-level marketing. Now the affiliate side, it came as a twofold. It was basically like sell this product, but I also got a bonus of having a millionaire mentor. So the millionaire mentor, he basically got on Zoom calls. This is 2016, guys. This is before people ever really knew what Zoom was. And he got on Zoom calls with like hundreds of other students and would just speak. And I'll give you a little gem right now too. He basically was selling stuff online. And what he said to me or to his students was, in order to reset the universe so that the universe knows that you're appreciative of this abundance and this money coming in, he said that he would give away value for free. So basically, anytime he would make a 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 day, month, whatever, he would hop on these Zooms and just give away free value. And that just absolutely positively changed my entire life, because now I get to hear what a millionaire thinks. And you guys know what they say, the top 1%, the top 2% of the world are millionaires. I wanted to know what the fuck were they doing that I'm not doing. So I really listened to every single thing that this man said. And I'm not gonna lie, at that time, I didn't fully understand it. And that's why one thing that I want to stress is you got to brainwash yourself to success. We are creatures of repetition. We are also creatures of habits. Okay? So the things that you're repeating to yourself on a daily basis are the things that are going to continue to happen, and the things that are going to form your habits. So that's why it's so important to brainwash yourself with positivity every single day. You got to think of the hear no evil, speak no evil, see no evil. That is what you guys need to start doing in order to master your mindset. Be very much aware of the things that you're looking at on a daily basis. The TV is a program. It's a program for you to be, what's the word? Not successful, really, at the end of the day, unless you're consciously watching stuff like The Secret on Netflix, or documentaries talking about the brain and the body, or even nature. Like, all of that stuff is cool. But all of these reality TV shows, a lot of these Netflix shows, it's just continuing the negative pattern. So be very conscious of the things that you're watching, the things that you're putting in your ear, because I say I'm half righteous, half ratchet, right? I love me some motivational trap music. You got trap music that will just talk about money and getting it and being the best, and that shit I love. But there's certain songs that I just don't approve of. And it's the ones talking about us females gotta spread our legs to go get a bag. That type of shit. No, I don't condone that. So I don't listen to that type of music. But I do love me some Beyonce from all the way to the beginning to all the way until she dies. I am Beehive for motherfucking life. Okay. Okay. But other than Beyonce and motivational trap music, as what I call it, I listen to gospel. I also listen to motivational, inspirational stuff on YouTube. I also listen to audiobooks all day, every day. I'm brainwashing myself to success, because what that's doing is it's going into my subconscious mind and allowing the 90% of what my subconscious mind controls on a daily basis to be positive, to be in abundance. Okay. So I want you guys to keep that. Okay. I'm going to go back to my story just a little bit. Ooh, excuse me. So I got out of the domestic violence shelter. I signed up for my first online business. I started listening to everything that my millionaire mentor was saying. And it was about a year and a half into it that I had a confrontation with my upline. My upline is basically, if y'all don't know, like the terms for network marketing and affiliate marketing, it's the person that got me into the online business. It's the person that referred me to my millionaire mentor. So because I got into a confrontation, I'll talk about that story later, not today, but she kicked me out of the group that basically was there, that I thought was going to be my family, that I thought was going to be like my people for life. Like they called it a friends for life program. So I'm like, these people I fucking love, I want to be around, but I get kicked the fuck out of the group. So I actually took a step back and was like, Stacy, why do you keep on getting in these abusive, toxic relationships? It was your mother, this husband, and now the upline that just because of that person's ego kicked me out of the group completely. So what I did was I ended up taking an almost 3-year break. So from 2018 to 2021, really. So is that 3 years? 19, 20, 20. Yeah. So I took a 3-year break and I had to get myself together. So obviously you got to work, you got to get an income. So I've had almost hundreds of jobs basically. So I took a mindless job just so I could, pay my bills and stuff like that. But I became ridiculously unhappy again because a lot of jobs are super toxic. A lot of jobs have abusers in there and it's indirect. It's actually almost condoned to have to suck up to your boss, do things that you don't necessarily want to do, and get rejected by and have your work stolen from you. And then for a female, it's even worse. So I was unhappy because I was in a toxic environment again. So what I ended up doing was actually what ended up happening was the pandemic. 2020 was when I no longer was going to this toxic job anymore. But also at the same time, January of 2020 is when my mom died. And so it was absolutely positively devastating. But I will say that I was happy that I was able to get my closure with my mom in 2017. So when I started my healing journey, I realized like, okay, my story is a part of my purpose. So if my mom is a part of my purpose, I need to talk to her before I go write this book and tell her how she beat my ass. So I reached out to her in 2017 and I said, Ma, look, I am on this new journey and my story is really important for me to share. I just want you to know that I'm going to be letting people know about the abuse that you would give me and my sister. And of course, it was all her other children too, but they were much older than me. So it was mainly me and my sister. And she didn't say anything. And I was like, I just want to give you a heads up, Mom. She still didn't say anything. So I went on to the next topic. But that was actually my closure, and that was actually her way of saying, okay, you know. So when she died, I was kind of, first off, I was grateful that she was no longer in pain, that she was no longer depressed, and that she was with God. I was also thankful that I was able to have that conversation with her, because now it's like she's watching over me and she's aware that that's what I'm going to be speaking about. So so 2020 happened. I got laid off, and because I wasn't working and my mom just died, I was sleeping like a motherfucker. I was sleeping, honey. My boyfriend works from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So at the time, I would have to take him to work at 5:30 in the morning. And I started to take advantage of that and started going to the beach and watching the sunrise and talking to the ocean, talking to the universe, talking to the waves, all that good stuff. But I would come home and go to sleep. And in this new journey of mine, 2020 to 2021, I found out that sleeping is actually healing. Sleeping is healing. Your best will come from your rest. Your best will come from your rest. Don't try to overwork yourself, overexhaust yourself just because you think you got to be busy. No, your best will come from your rest. And our body is so beautiful and so unique. Whenever we go and have surgery, they usually said you got to be on bed rest, right? You got to put your body at rest. You got to also sleep, because sleeping is actually healing. So indirectly, I didn't even realize that me sleeping through 2020 was actually me healing myself. Okay, now I don't want you guys to go and say, Stacy told me to go to sleep, so I'm not going to work today. No, just be aware of your body. Be aware if you're tired to put that computer down, put that pen down, step away and go take a nap or go to sleep and get back to it the next day. Okay. Hold on, I gotta sneeze again. I gotta take my allergy pill. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me, so sorry. Okay, so August 2020 was actually very pivotal for me as well, because my oldest brother, Anthony, called me. And he basically said, my oldest brother is actually 21 years older than me. So I didn't have a relationship with him. By the time I was born, he was already enlisted into the Marines. So I definitely didn't have a relationship with him. And then when he got out of the Marines, he actually had a very controlling wife that didn't allow him to interact with his family. So it was really unfortunate that he couldn't be with his family like that because of his wife. But him and his wife showed up to the funeral of my mom. And outside of my mom's funeral, he pulled me aside and he said, Stacy, you have a light that is beautiful. You have a light that is like our mother's, but our mother allowed her past traumas to hold her back. Don't let anybody steal your light. Don't let anybody steal your light. And I was just so profound. Like, I was just like, I was stunned. Like, I immediately had a connection with him. He said, I was the first and you were the last. We got a little bit of a different love from our mother. And I can see that love that she had through you. So don't let nobody steal your light. So I was like, oh my God, I love you so much. You are amazing. So he called me August. And in that conversation, he was basically speaking about like, what do you plan on doing? What's your purpose? Blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of like talking to him about it. He was also asking me for advice, ironically. He said, God told me that you would be the most understanding of what I'm about to tell you. And what he was asking me for was, do you think it's okay if I divorce my wife? And he also told me that his wife was keeping him away from God. So I was like, that's the number one thing. If she's keeping you away from God, then you don't need to be with her, right? You don't need to be with her. So he ended up kind of coaching me. He was very connected to God, went to all kinds of things like resorts and blah, blah, blah for his connection. And basically, because of his conversation, I said, you know what? I need to get back into this online situation, but I need to get it back into it in my own way, in my own form. I make the rules. I decide who gets to be around me. I decide what I get to sell, and everything that I sell is going to have my name on it. nobody else's. Okay. So that's what I decided. So January 6th of 2021, I actually decided that I'm a coach. I'm a coach. And unfortunately, March of 2021, my brother died and I was devastated. I considered him a prophet for me. And the day that he actually passed away, I sent him a text message that I wanted to speak to him. And unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to tell him in person that I thank him because I truly felt fulfilled in what I was doing, since this was like 3 months into now being a coach, right? January to March, January, February, March, January, February. Yeah, 3 months into being a coach. And I felt so freaking fulfilled and I wanted to thank him for that. So I didn't get a chance to do it, but I did speak at his funeral to thank him. And so because of my mother and my brother, I'm doing all of this. I vowed, so my why, right? That's one thing. I'm not gonna ask you guys for your why. Welcome, P. I want to let you know that this is being recorded. If you want to be a part of this, oh, welcome. Hello, hello. Can y'all raise your hand if you can hear me? Raise your hand if you can hear me. I want to make sure my service isn't cutting out. Raise your hand if you can hear me. Sugar honey iced tea. Okay. All right. So you guys can still hear me. Cool. So I don't, this isn't homework, but it is homework that you need to do on your own. I need you guys to figure out what your why is. Because of all of the situations that I went through, I vowed to never let someone slip out of my fingers that is unhappy and depressed. I vowed to also help women who have endured domestic violence and sexual assault, because those are the things that ran in my family. Not only that, I vowed to help women know that they can be independent, strong, and abundant as fuck, okay? And that was because of, I found out about my grandmother at my brother's funeral, and it's a whole nother story, but I want to get into more details and resources that you guys can have. But that's my why. That's why I do what I do. That's why I invest in myself in the certain places. That's why I'm brainwashing myself to success. And that's why I'm speaking to every last one of you guys, okay? So in my healing, I realized that okay, I'm gonna wait until it comes back. Okay, hopefully y'all can hear me. Yeah, I think you can. Okay, cool. I'm so sorry for this internet, man. Another thing, when you're doing something great, the universe will try to kick you out of it. And that's kind of what's happening with my internet, but I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on going. Okay, open to everyone. So it's back open. So yeah, raise your hand if I get kicked out again. Okay. So what I had to do whenever I came back better than ever, first, before I came back better than ever, I had to figure out, what do I love? So I want you to write that down. What do you love? What fills your heart with joy? What would you do if money was not an issue, money was not a problem? What would you do for free? And we are on this earth to serve others, just to let you know. So what would you do for free to help serve others is the questions that you need to ask yourself. And I'm a firm believer in entrepreneurship and ownership for everyone. And I'm also a firm believer that we all have some kind of specialized knowledge inside of us that we can monetize, that we can make money off of. So if you guys answer those questions and you can't see like a business model out of it, send me a message on Instagram and say, Stacy, I'm just not quite sure where I could go as far as an online business or a regular business. And I would like to get your input. And I'm more than happy to help you guys figure out that situation, okay? So now I'm gonna go over like pretty much my notes of the things that I wanted to teach you guys. It may not be in like a nice story format like I was saying, but it's information that's really important. So 2 ways to change your belief is through repetition and hypnosis. I just found out that fact yesterday during my hypnosis training. So the 2 ways to change your limiting beliefs is through repetition and hypnosis. That's why affirmations are so important. You are the creator of your life. So you must brainwash yourself to success. You must brainwash yourself to success. And we already kind of spoke about that. So energy, and people might call it your vibe, is real. There's a light that literally shoots out of you with the energy that you're projecting from the inside. And I can give you guys an example. That's going to be good or bad. Have you ever been in a room and somebody that was so angry came in there and you just felt a gust of almost wind, like, oh shit, that man's mad, right? That's his energy. That's the energy that's being projected out of his body. Oh man, I hope it's working. That's his energy that's being projected out of his body. So that can work for good or bad. So when you are mastering your internal selves, you want to be projecting that good energy, that good light. Remember what I said about my brother? You have a light. Don't let nobody steal your light. That was my energy. That was my vibe that was coming off because of the inner work that I was doing prior to meeting with him. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Okay, where does it say? Everyone is just like, yeah, okay, so energy could be good or bad. You want to make sure that you're working on your internal self so that your energy, the vibe, the vibration that you're sending out to the world, to the universe, to people around you is a good one. It's a good light. So we exist and coexist. We exist to coexist. We exist to coexist. So that means that we are here to be a creator on this earth and serve others, to coexist with other people, right? So we have to make sure that we are connected to ourselves internally and connected to our feelings. A lot of people tell men, like, you can't cry, you got to be a man. Hopefully you guys can hear me. A lot of people tell men, like, you can't cry, you got to be a man, right? But we're all human. We all have feelings. We run off of our feelings. Abundance is a feeling. It's a feeling of I am worthy, I am deserving, I'm supposed to have this amazing stuff in here because abundance is my birthright. It's a feeling. So if your feelings are on the negative side, what is that going to bring to you? Other negative stuff. Okay. So you need to be able to connect with your feelings. And what I love to tell people is anytime that you got a cry that comes out, let it out. If you got to cancel an appointment, go to the bathroom and cry it out, let it out, because that's your Pandora's box. Your Pandora's box wants to let out those emotions. And if you keep on suppressing them, they're going to come out in a bad way. Okay, so let it out. If you're angry, really, really angry, go and take a pillow and start beating the shit out of your bed. Get that anger out of you. You have to get that anger out of you, or else it's going to happen in a way that you don't want it to happen. So what I was saying was, thank you for letting me know that it's going in and out. What I was saying was, if you are angry, take a pillow and go hit on your bed. okay? And take that anger out. That's your Pandora's box trying to release it. And then what I want you to do is figure out what was that trigger? What made you really sad? What made you really angry? And then if anything, start journaling and writing it out. Okay, I love journaling. It's really a new thing that I really love to do. I've always had a gratitude journal, but now journaling out stuff has changed my life. All right, so let's see. What? Stop. Oh, you guys also want to stop saying that you are you're the way that you are because of your life circumstances. Stop saying you're the way that you are because of your life circumstances. Like, I am this way because I come from this place. I am this way because I am a certain race. No, you can literally brainwash yourself to be a completely new person. So all of those stigmas, all of those personality traits, whatever you want to call it, from what people say you're supposed to be like, it's not true. You can literally develop yourself to be whatever the fuck you want to be. I hope you're understanding this. I hope it's not going in and out too much. So make sure that you are programming yourself for success. You can evolve into whatever your heart's desires. Okay, you can evolve into whatever your heart's desires. Don't be afraid to change careers. Don't be afraid to, even if you're already an entrepreneur, to change up your service plan. Don't be afraid to change up the product that you're selling. Don't be afraid to evolve and change. Okay, that's the biggest thing I want you guys to know. If what you are doing is paying well, you are. If what you're doing, you are. Okay, so in your job, in your career, right? If what you're doing is paying you good money, but you're not happy, it's not worth it. Let me say that again. If what you're doing in your job is paying you well and you're not happy, it's not worth it. Okay? Your mind is there to protect you. Okay, this is a whole nother thought. Your mind is there to protect you. It doesn't want you to be uncomfortable because that's not safe. So that's why when you have the uncomfortability feeling, that's how you know you should be acting on what you're about to do. Because that's stepping out of your comfort zone. That's stepping out of your conscious mind trying to protect you. And that's allowing you to get out of the broke zone. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. Okay, your comfort zone is your broke zone. I'm sure you heard the saying before, if you're, hold on, I got distracted. So your comfort zone is your broke zone. What was I about to say? Hold on. Comfortability. I forgot. Sorry. Sorry. So your comfort zone is your broke zone. Oh, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Sorry, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. I hope you guys heard that. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. So don't be afraid to do things scared. Don't be afraid to do things uncomfortable. The biggest thing is doing it, taking action. When you can relax and not think about the negative, and you're happy and grateful in the moment that you're in, as well as optimistic about your future, God will provide. Okay? So whenever you are relaxed and whenever you're not thinking about the negative and you are happy and grateful for what you have and happy and grateful, I might like go to a hotel and get their internet or something because I'm so scared. Thank God I'm recording this. The recording should be good. Limited. Turn it on. Okay. So when you are relaxed and you're not thinking about the negatives, you're grateful and happy for where you are currently and optimistic about your future, God will provide. Okay. Also, I want you guys to know that thoughts are energy. Your thought is energy. Your thought is also a seed for your mind, your subconscious mind. You want to water and plant your mind, which is your garden, with positive seeds. When you plant it with positive seeds, your subconscious mind will know that, hey, this is what this person really believes. So I'm going to provide it for her. Okay. And also, I wanted you guys to know that we have been programmed since we were in our mama's womb. Also, the programming from previous generations affects our mindset. So that is why it's so super important to make sure that you're brainwashing yourself to success. And I want you all to know that at least 85% of families are dysfunctional. Dysfunctional meaning they've had hardships, they're abusive, stuff was dusted under the rug like molestation or rape. So 85% of families are dysfunctional. Don't think that you're the only one that came from something hard, but it is your number one, should be your number one priority to figure out, why did God put you through those hardships? Okay. Why did I go through that? And you are the creator of your life. Life is what you make it. Life is what you make it. You are the creator of your life. Okay. So if that's the case, you want to create that abundance in your life. All right. You want to create the abundance in your life. Woo! So, excuse me, we're about an hour in. I have 2 pages left to speak about, and then I'm going to invite people up. If you guys want to say anything, you can. If not, it's a-okay. But let's continue. So you want to always pay attention to the red flags if you ever get any in relationships. If somebody shows you, if somebody acts out and is really angry, puts their hands on you, that's a red flag, and you need to figure out how to get away from that ASAP. Don't push those red flags away, because it's only going to build up. An abuser can be anyone, like I was saying. Traits of an abuser plus traits of people hurt by past. Oh, okay. So hurt people, right? Hurt people. So if hurt people, then you want to make sure that you get away from those people that are hurt. And there's some real slick motherfuckers out there that can make it seem like they are amazing and they love you so much. But again, you have to just watch the red flags. And I want to say this: don't be the yes woman. Don't be I'm going to be the people pleaser and make everybody happy. You are the first person that needs to be happy, that you should be worried about. You are the first person that you should be worried about being happy. Nobody else. Okay? So don't say yes to something and you really don't want to do it. Don't do it. And it doesn't matter who it's for. Your boss, your mom, your brother, your son, your daughter. It doesn't matter. Stop being a people pleaser, okay? It doesn't get you anywhere. That's how I was my entire life until probably about 33. And I'm about to be 36. So that was a big key right there, okay? Because when you are a people pleaser, people will take advantage, even in the workplace. So envy and jealousy from friends and coworkers. Hold on a second. You can have something at 4:00. No, I don't. Okay. You can, when you become a people pleaser, your coworkers will even take advantage of you in the workplace. Not only that, when you start to work on yourself, some people will start to be very envious some people will start to get very jealous. And that's who you know are not your friends. Okay. I could speak all day about that, but I'll keep it going. if you have to be, if you have to be anyone other than yourself, it's not worth it. If you have to fake and act like anybody else than who you truly are, it's not worth it. And you need to change it up. You need to switch it up. Okay. Because you're not happy, there's going to be, if you're not happy and you figure out that there's triggers that are happening, like you're getting angry, or you start to, if something happens and you start to realize that you have an addiction of like sex, drugs, alcohol, binge watching TV, binge eating, you have to really start doing like your affirmations and your journaling more. Okay, because those binges, those addictions can just lead to only horrible things. Okay, it's okay to drink, and I smoke my holy flower, but to be drinking to put yourself to sleep, to be drinking to escape a situation, to escape reality, that's a form of depression. Okay, and I want you guys to just be so super aware of that. So when people know that they can take advantage, they will, over and over again, until you set boundaries for yourself and also the people that are around you. I can't afford it. I want you guys to also watch the way that you're speaking. Remember, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Life and death is in the power of your tongue and also your thoughts. If you have a thought like, I can't afford it, or I won't be able to buy that, or I'm not going to be successful, I want you to immediately cut yourself off from that negative thought and change it with the positive. You know what? No, I am already successful. I am already a leader. I am already abundant. I rebuke that statement that I was about to say. I rebuke it. Okay. You got to make sure you cut off those negative thoughts immediately. Another thing that my hypnosis coach was teaching me about money, what you want to do if you are feeling a lack of money, or you feel as though you're not deserving or worthy of it, when you're walking outside, this is $1 million knowledge out here, okay? When you're walking outside and you see like a Mercedes-Benz car or a Ferrari, or you see a mansion, or you see a happy couple, whatever it is, I want you to say this statement: I am money. I am money. I am money. And I also like to add, I am money and money is me. I am money and money is me. Because money is just energy. We are energy. So if you can be on the energy level of money by saying, I am money, money is me, that's going to help retrain your subconscious mind so that the abundance in the money part can start coming your way, okay? So I want to hear everybody start saying, I am money, money is me. My hypnosis coach told me to say that at least for 24 hours. Now, anytime I'm outside, I am money, money is me. I am money, money is me. I am money, money is me. And it's really worked wonders on myself. So we are energy, a thought is energy. The universe is a magnet, guys. Woo! The universe is a magnet, okay? So that energy that I was talking about that you're projecting out, if you're projecting out the positivity, if you're projecting out those, what happened? If you're, what? You can speak. Tweezers? If you're projecting out good energy, if you're projecting out good vibes, the universe is a magnet and it's going to bring it directly back to you. If you're projecting out negative thoughts, if you're projecting out feelings of you can't do nothing, you're not going to be able to be successful, it's going to bring that to you. And what I like to tell my students is sometimes you got to lie to yourself. In the word believe, the word lie is in there. So start lying to yourself about the things that you don't necessarily feel like you have inside of you. And best believe the more that you continue to lie to yourself, you're going to start believing it. It's just like being in an abusive relationship. If a man says you ain't going to find nobody like me, you're a piece of shit, you ain't going to have nobody, nobody's going to want to take care of your kids. They say that enough, you start to think that. So what you need to do is start lying yourself for the opposite. I am wonderful. I am amazing. I am going to find an amazing spouse, and so on and so forth. So you got to lie to yourself sometimes until you believe it. Woo. So y'all know I'm all about entrepreneurship, and I actually fell upon this video out of nowhere the other day, and it talked about how we are programmed as human beings to think that we have to have a job. And a job stands for just over broke. A job stands for just over broke, right? And how we got programmed to think that we can only survive with a job is basically by Tom Ford. Okay, somebody saying I'm breaking up. I think repeat what you said. Okay, so we are programmed to think that we can only survive with a job. We are programmed to think that we can only survive with a job. A job stands for just over broke. And where that programming came from was Tom Ford. Tom Ford, the creator of Ford Automotive, whatever you want to call it, he needed men to build his cars for him because computers weren't around. So basically, he coined the phrase the 40-hour work week. So he basically put it out to the universe that people have to work 40 hours a week in order for like this world to go around, basically. But guys, best and believe, we got computers now. We got computers now. So that's why I stress putting out a digital product so that those computers can be your job. So that link can be your new job. Okay? So we all have access to computers. We all can create an online business. Someone else, okay, that was the last thought of that one. I was in the spirit last night taking notes on what I wanted to say, so I was kind of everywhere. I was trying to organize it this morning, but it didn't work out like that. But I'm sure you guys are still getting some value over here. So the next thought was someone else's opinion of you doesn't have to be yours unless you let it. Someone else's opinion of you does not have to be yours unless you let it be yours. Also, someone else's feelings doesn't have to be yours. So if somebody is angry and emotional about a situation, but you're kind of okay, don't let their emotions overcome you, okay? Don't let those emotions and those opinions from another person take over your mind, all right? Woo! Let me see. All right, so y'all know I'm all about the mindset. Oh, I said Tom Ford. Yeah, it's Henry Ford. Henry Ford. I cracked myself up. Yeah, Henry Ford. You know, it felt a little weird saying Tom Ford too, but I was like, fuck it, I know it's Ford. So Henry Ford actually was the one that coined the 40-hour work week so that men could come and build his cars. And because we didn't have computers at that time, that's what the government said everybody has to do. You know what? Come work this 40-hour work week. But really, in actuality, true freedom is in ownership and entrepreneurship. Okay. 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 So I'm gonna end this here. Okay, I'm gonna end this here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, you guys can hear me now. So I'm gonna end this here. Your goal in life every single day is to be at a peak state. Your goal in life is to be at a peak state at all times. So you should be doing things to keep yourself at a peak state. That's why I constantly say, You got to follow your joy. You got to follow your happiness. When you follow your joy and you follow your happiness, that's going to attract the right people, the right things, and the right opportunities in your life. So when you follow your joy and you follow your happiness, it's going to attract the right things, the right opportunities, and the right people. Okay. And also a little tidbit is try to move your body, especially for us people that work at home. Try to move your body a little bit. In the mornings, turn on some music and kind of like dance, you know, get your body moving and grooving, because that's basically like allowing the spirit to come and be like, you know what? She's in a good state. She's in a good, who isn't happy dancing, right? Who isn't happy dancing? Don't you get happy when you dance? Don't you get happy when you dance? Try to incorporate dancing on a daily basis. We only heard. Okay. Okay, I'm getting feedback from somebody. So try to incorporate dancing in your daily routine. Who isn't happy dancing? Your spirit will take over whenever you are dancing. Okay, that's something that I learned from my hypnosis coach. We're not hearing you in anything that was so good. Okay, hold on. Okay, so dancing, right? I think you guys can hear me now. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Dancing. Candace, let me know if you can hear me. Hello, hello. Okay, great. So try to incorporate dancing in your daily routine, because who isn't happy when they're dancing, right? And basically, stay right where you are. Basically, whenever you're dancing, who isn't happy when they're dancing, right? When you get into that state of mind of dancing and feeling good and moving your body, spirit actually might take over. Spirit can take over your entire body and start dancing with you. You may be off rhythm, you may be off beat, but the spirit is guiding you. And that's the type of energy that I want you all to connect with, okay? It's more than the mind. It's more than the mind. It's connecting with who you truly are, which is an infinite spirit, which is a higher power. God is inside of every last one of us. You must connect with that inner compass of that infinite spirit for all of your success and for all of your mastery of the mindness. So 2 last points that I wrote down that I thought was really good is you want to serve your way to success. Serve your way to success. And you already got the skills to pay the bills. When you bring out your inner child, when you bring out that happiness, when you bring out that creativity, and you bring out that imagination, I'm telling you, the Lord will provide. The floodgates will open, but you have to follow your joy and follow your happiness first. So I'm Coach Stacy Christine. I am done speaking. I am actually going to stop this recording right now because I want anybody who wants to come up and speak to speak without everybody else having to hear, except for the people that are in the room. Before I finish out, I wanted to give you guys the rules again. You want to make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Clubhouse. You want to make sure that you're doing all of the homework that I'm giving you, which I'm about to give you your homework assignment right now. You want to also make sure that you are, you gave me your email address so that I can send you the recording. And you let me know, and that you're a part of the group chat that's on Instagram, okay? The homework for today is I want you guys to create your new minimum wage. I want you to create your new minimum wage. And for anybody who is an online marketer, anybody who has an online business, my millionaire coach said that an online marketer's minimum wage is $10,000 per month. An online marketer's minimum wage is $10,000 per month. On average, Americans make $2,000 to $4,000 per month at a job. On average, Americans make $2,000 to $4,000 at a job. And an online marketer's minimum wage is $10,000. So I want you guys to create your new minimum wage, and this is how you're gonna do it. I hope you guys can hear me. Candace, text me if you can hear me okay. That I'm gonna give you the exercise on how to create your new minimum wage. Just waiting on Candace to text me to say if everything is okay, because I want you guys to get this. Maybe she stepped away from her phone. Okay, good. Okay, there you go. Okay, so this is how you create your new minimum wage. So you're supposed to be living in abundance, right? You're supposed to be doing all of the things that make you happy and all of the things that are going to continue to allow you to follow your joy. So there's some kind of things that we have to do on a daily basis to survive that we just have to do. But because you will be living in abundance very soon, you need to actually start out. Oh, shit. It says breaking up. So you need to, you heard nothing. What the hell? Let me see. So to create your minimum wage, you have to write out a list of everything that will allow you to live quote unquote comfortably. I don't like the word comfortable anymore, but basically write out the things that would make you happy. Okay. So for example, if you want to own multiple houses, maybe one where you are, maybe one on a beach. I want you to Google how much would it cost to pay for those two houses and write that down on a piece of paper. So Google, basically, I want you guys to write out all of your monthly expenses as if you were already living abundantly. So if you want to own a house, find out how much monthly it will cost to own a house. If you want multiple houses, times that by 2 or 3, whatever. And then write out that number. And then you need to go on the list of everything that you need on a daily basis. So you got to think about the regular stuff, okay? So think about how much your dream house would cost. Think about how much your dream car would cost. Think about how much the insurance will cost for both of those, house and car. Think about if you don't want to cook every single day, how much is it to hire a chef, a personal chef? Write that number down. If you don't want to clean every day, write down how much it would cost to have a personal maid or a cleaner come in your house. Okay? Write down how much you want to be spending on food for you and your family. Write down the luxuries, the boats, the cars, the motorcycles. Write down how much those things will cost monthly. Okay? Try to include everything that you need for a daily basis. All right? Also, I want you to include vacations. How often do you want to go on a vacation? 2, 3 times a year? How much would it cost to go on a vacation 2, 3 times a year? Put that on paper. How much will it cost for you to maintain your business a year? Put that on paper. Okay? So when you write out all of those numbers, I want you to add them all up. When you add them all up, you're going to need to multiply that by 12. Multiply that by 12. And that's going to be your new, okay, first off, when you add up all those numbers, that's going to be your new monthly minimum wage. Now, when you multiply it by 12, that's going to be your yearly annual wage. And I'll tell you, I did this exercise at the beginning of this year, and my minimum wage is $420,000 for the year. I forgot how much that is per month. I'm about to do it right now. But my minimum wage is $420,000 for the year, divided by 12. So that's $35,000 a month is my minimum wage. And that's easy. Betsy knows. We have a coach that fucking just made $80,000 in 1 month. $80,000 in 1 month. That's another thing I wanted to say. Proximity is power. We didn't hear. Oh, my yearly wage is $420,000, which equals $35,000 a month. And like I was saying, Betsy knows our coach just made $80,000 in 1 month. because she is an online marketer. So it's possible for me definitely to get my $35,000 a month. Okay. Okay. So that is your homework. I need to know, what is your new minimum wage? You can put, I want to make such and such amount per month, or you can put, this is going to be my annual. You could put both of them if you want, just so that you understand those numbers and you have that number in your head. So now your subconscious mind, especially if you write it on your mirrors, especially if you say it in your affirmations, now your subconscious mind is programmed to know that that's going to be your minimum wage. Okay. And now when you get to that level, you do it again, because we are here to live abundantly. And when you can master all of these skills, you continue to get more abundance. Woo! Powerful shit right there. Some powerful shit. Okay, so I went over the rules. I went over the homework. I'm going to stop the recording. You guys can raise your hand if you want to come up and speak. If you don't, then we will, we'll I don't know. We'll continue to chat in the group chat, basically. So let me stop this recording.